As one of our self-development experiments, we added a new habit into our morning routine for 7 days. And it was so successful that everybody wanted to keep going after our 1 week period was up. So what is this amazing habit that made us feel so good and that we wanted to keep going? It was, wait for it, breathing.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Just go with the flow of the breath.
To be more precise, what we did every morning for 7 days was Soma breathing.
What's Soma breathing?
Well, Soma breathing is a form of breath work.
And what is breathwork?
Right, so breath work is basically any practice in which you deliberately regulate your breathing in order to change either a mental state or get a physiological response. Think of it like this. Have you ever felt nervous and then you took a few deep, slow breaths and you felt better? That was basically breath work. This is an oversimplification, but you can think of it like this. Slow breathing has a calming effect, kind of slows things down, makes you more calm and lowers your energy levels. And rapid breathing does the opposite. It kind of wakes you up and energizes you. And there are many different forms and schools of breath work, some of them going back thousands of years, such as the yogic practice of pranayama. Different forms of breath work will use different configurations of slow breathing and rapid breathing and breath holds and so on. And again, it all comes back to basically using your breath in order to induce a state change, either mentally or physiologically or both. And if you're into self-development, then it's quite likely that you've come across Wim Hof, who has really popularized breath work, or one form of breath work, along with cold exposure.
Yeah. Wim doesn't give a you breathe out of your nose or your mouth. He's like, just breathe, man.
I know. He
just
doesn't
breathe,
give
mother. He's so crazy. I love that guy.
So that is breath work. Back to Soma breathing. Soma breathing is simply one form of breath work where you do your breathing along with a funky beat.
And in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and...
So you're listening to music while doing the breathing, and personally, I enjoy this because I just find it easier to follow the rhythm with my breath than to not have a rhythm to anchor it to. But that's really all there is to it. It's just one of many forms of breath work, and it happens to go along with music.
I didn't know what it was. Actually, I've done the Wim Hof breathing before, but I just figured it's breath work and it helps you relax.
Familiar. I've done breath work before.
I was a little bit suspicious. I wasn't sure if it would work.
Loved it from the first session. It's just like, yeah, let's do this some more.
For our experiment, every morning at around 9 o'clock, we all sat down and did a guided 20-minute Soma breathing session. And we did this before our first workout of the day and before our start into the workday. It was kind of our wake-up ritual every morning for 7 days.
When I first started doing it, I would get this kind of violent tingling throughout my body that would eventually turn into like a peaceful feeling, but in the moment it felt really weird at first.
Part of the way through, my lips began to get numb and even shake a little bit. I don't know what that was about.
Once you know what it is and you're doing it like for the third or fourth time, I started to notice that the first phase is like hard.
The first 10 minutes, especially when you've just woken up, you feel quite constricted. And breathing in that way, it's kind of, it's difficult at the start.
Best part is the second half. It's where you just, all of a sudden, you're just completely relaxed, you're into it.
My favorite thing is the feeling you get on the breath holds and the insights that seem to just come out of nowhere. Through doing this, I'm slowly starting to develop a different relationship with my own death. I didn't anticipate that. I certainly didn't go into the breath work with that intention.
I felt like relaxed but awake. It's like a sensation of paradise. I'm not sure what the breathing contributed to that, but there was this sensation that I had that just, as if I was just cultivating gratitude, almost like an inner prayer.
Definitely on the breath holds, after we do the breathing in and out, it was this complete peaceful feeling, and it's just, it has some kind of mind altering effect. I don't know exactly what it is, but afterwards I would just feel like, whoa, it would feel like I just woke up.
Yeah, you just get into this mental high.
It might be better than coffee.
Now this all sounds great so far, doesn't it? But maybe you're wondering, okay, is there actually anything to this, or is this all just like mumbo jumbo? The good news here is that there are some studies that have been done that suggest that the effects people feel from breathwork are real, and it does more than just make you temporarily feel a bit euphoric. According to Scientific American, studies indeed show that just breathing can have measurable effects on health and well-being. A study conducted at Stanford University in 2017 showed that a specific brain region responsible for emotional regulation can be stimulated directly and deliberately through breathing techniques. James Nestor explains in his book Breath that rapid breathing can increase the CO2 concentration in the body, and in short bursts this is actually a good thing because it helps shuttle more oxygen into our tissues. These are just a few examples, but the point is, yes, there is some scientific evidence to back up breath work of this kind. However, when you look up breath work and practices like Soma breathing, you will find a lot of buzzwords around boosting your immune system, around limitless energy. You'll see the word supercharge a lot, along with many other superlatives. And I do want to make it clear that most of these claims are not backed up scientifically, at least not as far as I could find. As usual, our main goal was to simply find out what actually happens when we do this in practice. So here is what we experienced from 7 days of breathwork.
I just feel amazing after doing it. Like even right now, we just did it. I feel great. So it's just something that, yeah, it makes me feel good. And I'm sure there are some mental and physical benefits as well. So yeah, definitely going to continue doing it. I would like to know more about the science of it though.
With normal meditation, you focus on the breath to get into it and then you forget about that. You're supposed to keep breathing, but I like this because you focus on the breath all the way through. So it really does lead you to, as they say, that supercharge.
Certainly a better way than starting off the morning with like checking your WhatsApp messages or something. It's good for like having just like a little chunk of time away from like obligations and responsibilities and just have like 20 minutes to just be. I think that's good.
It's just extremely relaxing and it's I don't know, it just feels good. Again, I'm not really sure what the benefits are. I'm not sure, I couldn't list them out, but it just feels good.
It seems like a really good thing in the middle of your workday to spend 10 to 20 minutes breathing and refocusing. And maybe other Soma breathers prefer breathing in the morning. That's probably a really good time to do it. However, I didn't have time this morning. I did it in the middle of my workday, and I'm glad I did it now. I think there's like a tangible benefit to doing it in the middle of my workday.
I think anybody that's struggling with meditation, if you're like, I can't get into meditation, this is a great entry level. It gives you something to focus on from beginning to end. So you don't have to sit there and wonder if I'm doing this correctly. It doesn't matter, you just gotta breathe and follow. And at the same time, the music, if you pick the right tracks, are super cool. And maybe we'll share the ones that we've been doing with you, because I think they are groovy.
So overall, this was a great experience for us. And as you can imagine, it's an easy recommendation because, well, all you need to do is breathe and it's totally free to do. You can basically do it anytime, anywhere. However, at this point, let me also insert a disclaimer. Don't do this while you're submerged in water. Don't do this while you're driving a car or flying a passenger plane. Basically, don't do anything incredibly stupid. And I say this because some people actually manage to get themselves killed doing these kinds of practices. If you want to try this out, my recommendation is to follow a beginner-friendly guided breathwork session, and we will add some links in the description of sessions that are recommended where you can start to give this a try. I also recommend that you try more than one type of breathwork or more than one type of guided session, because in my personal experience there are some breathwork sessions that have done absolutely nothing for me, and there are some that have felt great. So it can take a little bit of trying out, and if you do so safely and responsibly, then maybe this is going to be your next favorite habit.
I'm definitely going to continue doing this.
I will definitely continue to do this for two reasons. The one, I just enjoy it. It makes me feel good, gets my day going, and two, feels like it's going to do my exercise and my fitness good too. That if, especially with a sport like surfing where you need to breath hold, this is like great for breath holding on land.
I'm not sure if I would do this every single day. Breathwork, I can see that being a part of my life from now on, for sure.
No, I'm not going to keep focusing on Soma breathing.
Not going to do it like this. I think I will have some time in the morning where I just like have a free slot where I just don't have any obligations or something, just to start the day, to be like a little bit more relaxed and not like fall like into my responsibilities from the moment I wake up.
So let us know, have you tried breathwork and have you had a similar experience to us? Let us know by leaving a comment below. Also, if you'd like to learn more about the book Breath by James Nestor, it is a fantastic resource to learn more about the entire world of breathwork. And one of the ways you can learn more about it, apart from reading the book yourself, is you can become a member of the Icario community, where we have a presentation that is member exclusive on this book. Check out the link in the description for more information on that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe below and we'll see you in the next one.
One of the coolest thoughts that I had was just the connection between Vancouver and Portugal right now, because it's like, how many other people are Soma breathing because their coworker on the other side of the world said, hey, get a shot of Soma breathing and I'm going to put it in my video. I like that connection. I like the connection, and it's like a collaborative breathing exercise from one side of the globe all the way to my side.